being versus doing is one of those tensions in my life that I think I'm always going to wrestle with. I'm always driven by my sense of needing to accomplish and do more, and my sense of doing often informs my sense of being. And I think somewhere along the lines I have it all switched around. Then instead of being defined by the things that I do, and I think I need to be defined by who I am. That God doesn't love me for what I do, He loves me for who I am. I think especially in this season of quarantine, especially in this season of the unknown and feeling purposeless at times, I really wrestle with that. Because my identity is so tied up in what I do, and if I'm not doing as much as I think I should be doing, then who am I as a person? And yet, what if in this season God was challenging us and rewiring the way that we even think about life? Then instead of finding our sense of purpose and self-worth in what we do, what are we saying? I love you for who you are. I always say this, I think it's so true. There's a reason we're called human beings and not human doings. Henry Nouwen, a great author, told this story once. He often worked in these places where people with different mental disabilities would live, and they would have this co-living space. And he was giving this tour to a few pastors who were in the area and just showing them the work that they were doing. And one of the pastors came up to Henry and said, Henry, don't you ever wrestle with the fact that maybe you're not doing enough, or are you wasting your talents here in this space caring for these people? And as they were walking, they came to this room, and there was this woman standing in front of this window. She'd been completely paralyzed, was a quadriplegic. She had no function in her limbs, and she was severely brain damaged. She'd been like this since she was a little girl. And Henry Nouwen walked in, and he pointed to this woman as the pastor was surrounding him, and he said, look at this woman right here. What is her sense of self-worth in the kingdom of God? Does God value her? Now, it's a little bit of a trick question, and the pastor said, of course God values this woman. And Henry said to this pastor, he said, why does God value her? She can't do anything. She physically is incapable of moving her body. She's brain dead. She can't provide anything to this world. She can't give back in any way. Why would God love her? And the pastor knew that he was caught in this moment. He said, well, because she's a daughter of God. And Henry said, isn't that enough that she's a daughter of God? And yet look at this woman. She's going to have more impact in the kingdom of God, because when you go back, you're going to tell her story. And countless others are going to tell her story. And thousands of people are going to be impacted by the fact that their identity comes from being a child of God, not what they do. And she didn't have to do anything. And the stories always hit me and resonate. They've been super hard for me. Because I have to wrestle with the terms that if I never did anything again for the kingdom of God, God would still love me. And yet at the same time, God challenged me that I get to live into the kingdom of God. And so I have to let my being inform my doing instead of the other way around. And as you find yourself in quarantine, I wonder, what would it look like to be a human being, not a human doing? To be okay with the fact that you are loved simply for who you are, not what you do. Being and doing. There's meant to be a tension there. There's meant to be freedom there in the sense that we get to live into who God has called us to be. Go and be